to think of a way to deal with it if we want to push on.
Got a riddle for you.
I'm not interested.
Hey, you feeling all right?
I think my metabolism of glucose might have been affected. I'm finding it hard to concentrate. That's exactly what I feared. This party was premature. Hey, I took a closer look at our obstacle. It looks like something is distorting the gravity field around here. Good thing our base stopped, or we'd just be floating around in the air like those rocks. Amazing. The sheer scale of it. I wonder if it's related to the interval. Yeah, this planet, so full of mysteries. It's almost a shame we need to get out of here in a hurry. I can take the pressure, don't worry. But we can't expect to deal with a problem if we don't understand it properly. How do you suggest we go about it? We'll need to start by collecting more data about the field distortion characteristics. The base should have blueprints for a device called a gravity sensor. Once you craft it, it needs to be placed somewhere high to cover as much ground as possible. We're in a canyon, right? So maybe a ledge somewhere high up would be good. I'll mark potential spots on your map. Okay, I'm on it.
Nice. All done. Should I take care of this now? Okay, I'm done. I can do this now.
I forgot how good it is to sweat it all out.
Whoa. This anomaly. I haven't seen them behave like this.
I discovered something new. An anomaly that seemed to be pulsating. Pulsating? As in shrinking and expanding? Yeah, and it seemed to have two cores inside. Very interesting. Thank you for bringing this observation to me. I suppose destroying it will be easier if you time your movement accordingly to the pattern in which it pulsates? I'll keep that in mind. Thanks. Hey, you feeling all right? Oh, man. Don't ask. It's always the same. I had so much fun last night. Then, boom. Fucking anxiety kicks in. Don't happen to have any chamomile on you? never gonna believe what I found. Let me guess. A time-distorting anomaly? What? How did you know? Well, considering the presence of this huge gravitational anomaly in this area and Frankov's calculations, I expected you to stumble upon one sooner or later. As you know, differences in gravitational potentials create the effect of time dilation. So, I just connected the dots. You could have done it as well, had you taken the time to stop and think. I guess I was too busy discovering it. Of course, the credit is yours. Now, tell me more about it. Well, when I got inside this thing, it just, slowed me down while... All around you, time seemed to speed up? Yeah. What a discovery, Jan. This is just getting more and more fascinating. Well, it's pretty hard to get rid of. The closer I get to its core, the more time I lose on the outside. Yes, but you're also approaching the center of its gravity, which means that the core should slow down and be an easier target. Huh. Interesting. I'll think about that. Thanks. Hey, can you hear me? Loud and clear. Waking up from cryo sleep, achy back, buzzing sound in ears. Piercing headache. I'll have to recommend more humane methods for the, what the hell? Just take it easy, I can explain. I knew there was something rotten going on. So this is what they're really doing. Replicating people. For efficiency. I'm afraid it's much more complicated than you think. Oh, well, I can't wait to find out how much more complicated it is. You will. Just let me ask you a few control questions first, okay? I'll only answer to a human being. Where's the captain? Please, what is your name and role on this mission? My name is Jan Dolsky. I'm a representative of the Joint Trade Union sent on this mission to make sure nobody is fucking with the people employed here. And you know what? My notebook is beginning to fill up fast. Finally, someone who can stand up for us and help explain this mess. What do you mean? There was a bad accident. All you're experiencing is a consequence of that. Accident? What accident? During the landing, I'm afraid the whole crew died. Oh, isn't this just getting better and better? The whole crew? Where's the comms room? I need to report this back to the Union immediately. We'll do that later. Really? Don't tell me you're calling the shots here. Someone had to make you, Mr. Lookalike. I want to talk to them. They should be told that it's illegal to use people's DNA like that. Actually, you're the one that's been created illegally, and I was the one who made you. Like I said, things went south, I had no choice. This is absurd. It's true, and you're not the first one I made. I have Rapidium. No, you're lying to me. Rapidium is what we were supposed to... Besides, I'm someone important. I do things for people. Real people rely on me. Calm down. You're not the original Jan, but that doesn't mean you can't be important. You're right about us being different. That's because I altered my mind to make you. I don't have your history of fighting for people. That can be really useful here. This is just... No, it's not happening. You know what? You need two things to process this. Time and straight-up facts. You'll find everything you want to know in the mission logs. It better not be corporate propaganda. You can decide for yourself. Once you've read it, let's talk again. In the meantime, just make yourself at home in the base and meet the rest of the crew. Talk to people. Yeah, it might be wise to start with that.
Take care of this now.
Can't wait to hit the gym again.
I got it from Jan. Cool, right? Busy day, huh?
Hey, what's the matter?
I was wondering, is it just me, or do you have it too?
Have what?
A splitting headache that won't go away no matter what I do. And a bad stomach too. Ever since that damn party.
That's worrying. A regular hangover should have gone away by now.
Yeah. Got me thinking, maybe the booze was spoiled? We never checked its expiry date. Could have mold in it or some bacteria.
Okay, man. Just take it easy for now and don't forget to hydrate properly.
Yeah, don't worry. I won't be slowing you down. Even Molly's not there for me when I need her. Look at her, sulking in her little space. I hope none of those idiots plied her with that rotten stuff.
Hey, how's it going for you? Still early days. Could use a little more comradeship in the group, but we'll get there. I have faith. They're probably overworked. I should cut them some slack. They could definitely let their hair down more, but also integrate. We need to start being a real collective. We won't stand a chance against the system if we're just a bunch of individuals. Do you seriously think we should be confronting Ally Corp now? So you don't think enough has happened? Leaving you like this, making you create us like slave machines. And look at us, mining rupidium for them like good little children. Wake up, Jan. What would you have us do? Go on strike? I'm still trying to figure that out. Well, keep me posted. I sure will.
Evacuation functionality. Evacuation procedure.
I knew there was something wrong with her. I saw it. And I didn't do anything. Wait, what the hell happened to her? Why does it look like she's gone? Molly's gone.
What? But why? I mean, no, that's not possible. There was never any problem with her.
I came to see her like I did every day, and She was just lying motionless, cold and stiff. That's just unthinkable. Such an innocent little being.
At least her life had meaning. She will be remembered as the first living organism ever to be created with the use of rubidium.
Rest in peace, Molly. Now it's just us. She was our loyal companion on this journey. Let's at least honor her with a moment's silence. Here, here.
Should I remind you that we are in the kitchen, the place where food is prepared? The longer Molly is lying around in here, the higher the risk of contamination.
Shouldn't we be worried about the contamination that might have ended her? If there's so much controversy around a simple moment of silence, then why don't we just vote on it?
Let's just decide what to do quickly and get back to work. This is taking too much time.
You know what's the best thing about sheep? They're humble and simple. I don't think Molly would want us to make a fuss over her. I can tell you how I like to go, with fireworks. Cremation sounds reasonable, and it could eliminate any health hazards.
Still, we are talking about corporate property here. I say we put her in the freezer and take her back to Earth. Ally Corp scientists might be interested in her. But it's your call, Jan. You're the captain. What do you think?
We need to be rational about this. Cremate her corpse as quickly as possible and get back to our jobs. No. We can't do that.
What? Why not?
Don't you all remember what they said at training? If any member of the crew dies for an unknown reason, it is the duty of the scientist on board to carry out a post-mortem without delay.
Member of the crew?
She was a live being, and her cause of death is unknown. We should find out what really happened. We owe it to her, and to ourselves. And it's a mandatory procedure. Let's do it. Let's perform an autopsy and see what we can find out.
All right. I won't argue with procedures.
Ah, another movie. This one was actually on my pile of shame. Yes, I was missing that.
I'd really like to know what killed the sheep.
Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too.
No way! Is that my old pipe?
Yeah, and it sure is old. I didn't use it often after high school, to be honest.
That's why it looks better than I remembered. I used it a lot. It inspired so many crazy ideas for fixing the world.
Thank you.
Evacuation functionality. The base.
Jan, we should talk.
Man.
Let's touch base.
You wanted to talk about something? Yeah, I've been laying low, just observing the situation from a distance, but I think it's time you and I talked. Okay. So, you're a builder? Yeah. For a corporation? Yeah. And you weren't supposed to have any responsible role on this mission? And what's your point? Well, I'll be upfront with you. It pains me to see what you've become. Really? Yeah. I know it sounds funny from a guy who just popped out of a jar, but I know you, Yan, and I know what you once wanted. I'm dying to know. You, Yan Dolsky, wanted to be a leader. No. You must be confusing your memories with mine. Really? What about our Fierce Ocelot survival camp? We got to the rank of patrol guide at 12. Don't tell me you don't remember that. Fierce Ocelots, yeah, that was a cool adventure. Adventure? Huh. What about standing up for your men when the camp director made them clean the latrines for 3 days in a row? Man. Yeah, right, I forgot about that. And the protest we organized when the canteen gave us forks to eat soup with? We're no goons. Give us spoons. Yes, see? You remember. And how good it felt to have people follow you, trust you, respect you. So, what happened? How did you end up as a corpo rat without any agency? No, I have some agency in my life. Social security matters when you want to get a mortgage for your dream home, settle down with someone you love. That can change priorities. So, selfishness stood in the way of your ideals. Are you trying to make me feel bad about myself? I'm just thinking out loud. Where did your choices get you? Are you really satisfied with how you ended up drifting with the current, not getting in anybody's way? Because things can still change, you know? If you go back to your ideals and remember how to be a true leader. And how exactly would I do that? You can stand up for your people like you used to do, instead of trying to please the bigwigs. You can make sure working conditions in here are humane. Meaning, let's start with the fundamentals. I can see you care about radiation protection. That's good. Now, I want you to keep it up. That sounds reasonable. Of course, you can't do it by imposing overtime on anybody. What? No overtime? Jeez. The corporation really got to your soul. I'm not negotiating. Just tell me if you're in or not. Okay, I'm in. Good. I hope you can pull it off. Could be a first step to becoming true to yourself again. I'm gonna miss that fluffy little girl. She was a great listener. It was just a sheep.
really like to know what killed the ship.
Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet.
What's going on? I'm dizzy.
Are you all right? What happened in the refinery?
Wish I knew. I blacked out. I think there was a leak and I inhaled toxic fumes.
Sounds like a scary experience. I'm sorry, man.
No worries. I'll be fine. Been through worse.
Hey, are you done with the post-mortem? Did you find Molly's cause of death? Yes and no. Don't you just love science? I know the direct cause of death, and it wasn't food poisoning. No? No, it was a severe brain hemorrhage. What? Why? That's the tricky part. Her brain looked changed. Part of it was covered with a strange, transparent film, like mutated tissue of some sort. Any ideas where this tissue came from? I don't know, Jan. I'm not a neurosurgeon, and I'm certainly not a veterinarian. A basic autopsy on a human being is all I'm trained to do. I ran a sample through our standard lab tests, and it doesn't fit any known results. So all I can tell you is this isn't any condition I could put a name on. Well, I guess there is nothing more we can do, at least for now. Why don't we leave it at that and get back to what's important? No. That would be very careless. Just because it seems like an irrelevant distraction doesn't mean we should ignore it. We ruled out bad food and bad air conditioning as a cause of death. That's good news. However, there could be other external factors at play. This planet, the interim. Who knows if the proximity plane doesn't interact with our reality in some ways we don't yet understand? We have no idea about the microbiome here, bacteria, maybe even viruses. Viruses? What are you saying? We should all get tested, just to be on the safe side. So, the technician was right when he urged us to examine the sheep. And we were right to listen to him. Now let's follow through. Okay. How do you want to proceed? MRI scanning. A simple procedure that will give us the first crucial answer. Is anything affecting our brains too? All I need from you is a simple upgrade of our infirmary. Think you can handle that?
Okay, I'll take care of it right away.
Excellent. We'll start the checkups immediately after it's ready.
Molly's grave. I couldn't have chosen a better place for her myself. Rest in peace, brave Holo Chip.
To the safer evacuation. Food shortages are
Man.
Hey, you wanted to talk?
Yeah. I wanted to thank you for getting me that exercise equipment again. You have no idea how it helped me to stay sane in here. But I was thinking, what if we built something everyone could benefit from?
Great. I was hoping you'd suggest upgrading the refinery so you can be more efficient there.
It's not just about work, Jan. I was thinking about something totally different. I've noticed you took the trouble to invest in a fitness module, and that is the direction I was thinking about.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, since we have it, why not upgrade it and add some real gym equipment to it? You know, a treadmill is fine, but nothing beats a decent bench press at the end of a hard day at work.
Okay. I'll consider your request.
Thanks, man. To be honest, burning calories in space is a little pointless. But what we should really be worried about is increasing our bone and muscle density, right?
I finished my tasks. Want me to take care of this now? My tasks. Want me to take care of this now? Yeah, no, we need more storage space. now.
I finished my tasks. Want me to take care of this now? Man. a shitty... I know it's a sad thing, but it was only a sheep. So, happy about the levels of radiation protection in the base? You're doing great. People feel much safer. Keep it up, and you'll gain their trust.
Our dormitory reminds me of my old residence hall. There was always a ridiculous amount...
My tasks. Want me to take care of this now? All done. Should I take care of this now? tasks. Want me to take care of this now? Hey man, we're running out of storage space.
Hey man, I can see you're bummed out. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. That's not true. Tell me what used to cheer you up. At home, I mean.
Cheer me up?
Well, there was this elderly neighbor, that sweet granny type whose apartment always smelled of a freshly baked pie. I liked to visit her when I was feeling down. Listen to stories about her youth, her grandchildren. There was so much kindness and empathy in her. You're happy when other people are happy.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, who would want to be happy alone? We're social animals, after all. Space is messing with my head.
I heard something broke in the dormitory and you're not feeling well.
Yeah, man. There are simpler ways to kill a man quietly, you know.
What do you mean?
The AC started spitting smoke. You could have fixed it earlier.
Oh, what a piece of junk. Ally Corp sure skimped on the equipment.
What did you expect? Of course they skimped on everything they could.
Hey man, what's with the long face? Don't worry about it. Why not? Come on. What usually cheers you up?
I don't know, man. Maybe catching up with someone I helped. Being appreciated for my efforts.
In that case, why don't you tell me about some of your good deeds over a beer?
Well, I wouldn't want to breach anyone's right to privacy, but I may have a story or two for you, yeah. Why is it so important? Looks like a waste of space, to be honest.
Hey man, I can see something's upsetting you. Don't make it worse. Love the attitude. So what can I mean, what do you usually do when you're angry? Nothing usual about these circumstances. Oh, I don't know, Jan. I try to avoid people who irritate me. All the more reason to throw yourself into work, right? That's true. I'd like to get back to it.
Functionality. Welcome to the Saber evacuation.
Hey man, I've noticed you've been down lately. It's nothing. Come on, talk to me. Anything I can say that could lift your spirits?
Well, I think knowing that I made a difference is what keeps me going. But do I? Really? I don't feel the impact I had with the Union.
Ally Corp is light years away. It can't exploit us, so you don't have to worry about having an impact on anything.
It doesn't work like that.
I can see you've been down lately. Anything I can do to make you feel better? A team of skilled lab analysts would be nice. Yeah, that would be helpful, but maybe there's something more workable. What do you usually do to boost your spirits? Well, it may sound vain, but I like reading reviews of my articles. I bet the reviews were always very enthusiastic. That only shows how little you know about the scientific world. There's always some ignorant who tries to prove how wrong you are. Reading their desperate attempts is its own kind of pleasure. Nothing like a movie night, right?
Hey, Dad. What was it like here? Before?
Before the 8th fall?
Before all of it. In the beginning.
Well, suppose it's time. Sit, son. Today, I tell you the history of the universe. The beginning is much like the end. Even though we haven't seen it, we know it's there. Its story was written in the stars all along, but also never before.
What?
It's some heady stuff, son. Go with me here. First, there was nothing. Then, a great interdimensional being, the one in which we all reside, had a thought. This thought created the spark that started it all. Our existence, a neural pathway forged in the being's mind.
Whoa. We're in the brain of a big monster?
Yup. I mean, monster is a little rude, but from here, everything we know was created. Time, space, stars, galaxies, planets, and eventually our home, Earth.
Seriously?
Land, sea, sky, all in perfect balance to cook up life. From deep beneath the ocean, microbes emerged. They split and reproduced and swam and walked and flew. Plants and animals, dinosaurs, humans, robots, dinosaurs again, xenomans, Gugorgians, and...
What was the one before robots and after dinosaurs?
Plants?
No,
Before robots.
And after dinosaurs.
Humans.
Humans, yeah. They were humans.
They were a kind of animal around for a bit. So, after the Gugorgians budded from the crust, they were faced
What did the humans like to do?
I don't know, probably the same stuff as the dinosaurs.
What did they look like?
Like apes with haircuts. Look, son, I can't stress this enough. The humans were just a blip in time. They were completely ineffectual.
But didn't they make the robots?
Well, didn't the primordial ooze make the humans?
I guess, yeah.
See? It's all genetic processes of evolution. No one gets full credit for any of it. Same as how the time bees built their hive in the core, which led to the evolutionary split in time-space. That was a huge leap forward, but no one gave them an award for it. And the bees checked all the timelines, no awards.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad. Go on.
Okay. After the Gugorgians emerged from the crust as deep Earth cicadas, they eventually mated with the lava beings to create the Era of Light. The true awakening where all life in the universe saw each other and one full collective consciousness was achieved. No more wars, no more attrition, just pure, unfiltered...
And did humans have video games?
Alright, what the hell's going on here, son? Humans didn't mean shit! If anything, they were a speed bump along the way. Wasted millennia trying to make boats a thing. But yes, they had video games. They also had saturated fats and mouth kisses. They were all over the place. Not worth any more thought.
Something else?
I feel like we should pay more attention to them. I don't know. They seem important.
If you want important, we can talk about how the Bopnoids swallowed the moon and tried to hold it ransom when the moon collectors showed up. That was something. Humans are so nothing, it's hard to put into words. Just forget about them.
Funny
I'm
about
trying,
that?
but I can't stop thinking about them. They seem so rad. And all of a sudden, I want to start a live stream where people watch me talk about all the cool stuff humans did. And sometimes I do gear reviews. What's wrong with me, Dad?
Oh no. Okay. Son, you're gonna be fine. Let me just make a call. Hang on.
Yeah, I'll have an extra dry Zortini. Yeah, just fill it with sand. And then, hang on. Hello?
Hey, Doc, sorry to bother you. My boy here, he can't get thoughts of humans out of his head?
Uh-huh. And has he been operating as though other people would find these thoughts interesting?
Uh-huh.
Just some people, a couple thousand. I'd start small.
Okay, yeah, we've been seeing a lot of this lately. It's an inflammation in his ego.
His what?
The ego. It's a vestigial organ in the upper chamber of the subconscious. It's part of our long-dormant human genetic code. You know, in humans, it was used to regulate self-image, activate attention-seeking, and check if your hair looked cool. For us, it usually doesn't serve any function at all. Sometimes a little bit of food gets caught in there and it acts up. What it does, it's like deep within you, your humanity itself is trying to be noticed, crying out for credit and respect, desperately hoping to pass on a legacy.
Oh, no. Is there any way to deactivate it?
Oh yeah, it's incredibly fragile. Quick remote surgery, I can pop it out and set it straight.
Oh, great, yes. But please, go ahead.
All right, stand still there, buddy.
Hey, what's the big idea?
Okay, listen, Ego. You're a small part of a collective existence wherein you yourself are completely insignificant.
Yeah, well, I know you are, but what am I?
Amazing. Thanks, Doc.
No problem.
That's ridiculously
Sorry,
amazing.
yeah. Lumpfish, over easy. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. That's better already. I can feel the humans fading away forever now. Wow, I feel so connected to everything. I think I'm starting to get it. It's not about getting attention or leaving some kind of all-about-me legacy. We're all part of the same thought.
Exactly, son. It's pretty special just to be part of something. It doesn't have to be about getting credit. Diane, you good?
Oh yeah, just had a silly little thought.
Do you want me to help with that? my tasks. Want me to take care of this now?
Evacuation functionality. Actively monitors the ship.
Jan, we should talk. Let's touch base.
Are those trees? That's impossible. How can there be life here? Wonder if I could get a closer look at them.
Out of storage space. I'm done here. Should I do this now? All done. Should I take care of this now? I finished my tasks. Want me to take care of this now?
Busy days ahead of us.
So, how about those leadership skills of mine? You kept your word about the radiation protection. Doesn't mean the end of our problems, but at least you've learned something. Like what? That you can win people's trust by showing them you care, instead of imposing authority like a brute. Sounds like a good method. Thanks for pointing me in the right direction. Sure, just don't go astray. The Union is watching.
I'm done here. Should I do this now? I finished my tasks.
Really?
Want me to take care of this now? Looks like I'm done. Should I go there next? this with our resources. Should I move on to this now?
Hey, wait. Is that some kind of a projection? And they're gone. Safely into my pocket. Let's see if my crew appreciates a relaxing landscape inside the base.
me to take care of this now?
Jeez, I packed a lot of stuff.
Okay, just lie still and think of something engaging. When will you have the results? Not before I finish scanning everybody. You're the first one, so after we finish, you can go to bed and come back in the morning. I should know more by then. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Feels like waiting for high school finals or something.
So how's the workout going? You happy with your barbells?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for making the effort.
You feeling all right?
Honestly, my body feels great. I feel much stronger already, but
But what?
it's not okay. I'm not okay. I think I was deceiving myself. I did feel incompatible, but it wasn't because my body was incomplete. It was because my soul was missing something. Or someone, to be more precise. Someone I loved. Ben.
Ben?
Yeah? Is it really so surprising for you?
Actually, not that much.
Of course not. You remember our basketball team captain?
Yeah, I do. But, I always thought that was just for laughs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for laughs. What about your cousin's boyfriend in the summer of...
Okay, yeah, you win. I always thought of it as a phase, experimenting with different stuff.
Well, I thought that about my experiments with girls. But it wasn't a phase. It felt right for you. You just never met the right guy.
Yeah. I guess I met the right woman instead.
And I met Ben, which means in our case, it wasn't really about looking for a woman or a man, just
Finding the right person. So, you miss this guy?
we became inseparable. He talked me into taking up a job in an offshore oil rig. And one day, when we were on shore leave, Ben started talking about rubidium and space mining missions. He was so excited about it. Wanted us to enroll there and then.
And did you?
We both did. And then we got totally wasted, which was a bad idea because that was our last day off. So the next day, our transport arrives and Ben gets on it without me. I'm just too damn hungover. So I stay behind, miss my shift, make calls to tell them I'll get on the next transport. But I never do. Because that day, there's a major gas leak on the rig. The whole thing blows up, killing 12 people, including Ben. After that, I just kept blaming myself for not being there with him. I kept turning it over and over in my head, wondering if I could have done something.
Don't blame yourself. This is just how it had to be. Otherwise, I guess your life path wouldn't be viable for you to end up here with me.
See, that's exactly what's been keeping me awake at night.
Okay.
At first, I was too confused to even think about it, and I guess I tried to keep Ben and that whole story at arm's length. It was depressing enough to realize who I was, or what I was. A ripple on the water of someone else's life. And I don't like being depressed, you know that.
Yeah.
But doing more and more of those bench presses, I just couldn't avoid thinking that
If my real life path was different and I, meaning you, never even met Ben, then that means there's a possibility he might still be alive, if he exists at all. And the more I think about it, the more certain I am that I just want to know. I want to know what the real reality looks like. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, I can see this is important. And I think I can figure out a way. Let me take care of it. Thanks, man. It would just be so amazing to discover a different, better ending to my story. Who should I ask about? Ben Harris? Actually, his full name's Benjamin, but he never liked it. The one I knew anyway. So I was thinking, since my Ben was so hyped up about going on a Dolly mission, if he exists, there's a solid chance he applied in this reality too, which means he's gotta be in Ally Corp's database of candidates. Okay. Let's find out if you really know him that well. An MRI scanner provided by Ally. I just know it. Are we sure we can Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. Is that my Crooked Testers t-shirt? Mm-hmm. Still a damn good band. Oh, man. I remember the wild party we threw after they won that lawsuit against their record label. A beautiful demonstration of strength derived from unity.